Lesson 2 for Jay.
Mathematics. Alright, standard 1, again for this lesson, I wrote acceptable, just, maybe practicing lessons beforehand, especially for fluency. Standard 2, I'd put that you did exemplary in. Scaffolded by starting with counting by ones and then whispered the odd numbers. Standard 3, exemplary in. You provided positive praises to the student often. Some examples of those were, great job, you're a hard worker, that's right, and man, you're so smart. Standard 4, I didn't notice any behaviors, so I put exemplary. But they were not noticed due to the interactive activities that you included into the lesson plan. Standard 5, I put that Jay was engaged and excited the whole time. He smiled often and loved the skip counting lesson. Standard 6, I put that acceptable. Just that there were a few grammar errors, spelling errors on the lesson. Standard 7, exemplary. I put that, there we go. I put exemplary, put that your observations or verbal assessments, check for understanding and written assessments for the data tracking were all used in your lesson. Standard 8, I put exemplary in. You gave plenty of time for them to think, so great think time, and then you gave constructive feedback. Example here was, remember to whisper 1, then yell 2. Yeah. And then overall, that was a 48 out of 50 points for lesson 2.
Yeah. I think the only thing on that one that I had struggled with as far as developing this would be my objectives for my informal worksheet for my assessment. Because I didn't know the 3 trials, if that was on just the worksheet or 3 different worksheets.
Oftentimes when we are in special education, if we make a goal and objective like on an IEP, 3 trials means in 3 different, maybe like 3 different worksheets. It doesn't always have to be a worksheet, and it can be even through like verbal responses and you doing the tracking your data, but just in 3 different on 3 different times, 3 different settings or areas. And so yeah.
So I did that one wrong as far as what I was assuming. I assumed that the 3 trials was on the worksheet, but
it would be in 3 different
in 3 different lessons.
It wouldn't have to even be like in 3 different lessons. You could do like teach a lesson one day, and sometimes especially in special education classes, you might have to teach a lesson one day, and then when you go back the next day, they do struggle with retention, even from day to day, or even, you could teach it 3 times in one day even, but you come back and you go to do that review before moving forward, and you realize that they didn't retain a lot of that. So yeah, going back and trying to maybe reteach what you've already taught, maybe use a different technique or method, but then as you are reviewing with them, again, you're seeing how well they score again on that trial. And so generally, if you put in 3 different trials, it's going to be in 3 different time settings.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarification.